Here to pay tribute to Ian Thomas, please welcome singer, songwriter, 11-time Juno Award winner, an inductee to the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame himself, Murray McLauchlan.
Singing, don't you wanna keep on moving? Don't you wanna get undone? Don't you wanna change from losing?
Ian Thomas has worked diligently to undermine the morals of our youth in the great traditions of rock and roll. Now, against my better judgment, he assumed the role of godfather to my son. In short, he would be responsible for the boy's religious upbringing should anything happen. Among his first acts was to present Duncan with an electronic remote-controlled fart machine, which the lad then surreptitiously taped underneath his grandma's chair at Christmas dinner. It wasn't easy for Ian to get a start as a writer-performer, struggling for recognition. He was earnestly doing his thing in a bar at one point when a drunk approached the stage. Seeming upset, the drunk yelled, "What the hell is this shit you're playing, and where the hell is Sylvia?" As a writer of songs, Ian is the polar opposite of the classic country trope, 3 chords and the truth. He might be better described as 25 chords, and where the hell is he going with this? Truthfully, though, Ian is an amazing writer, and his pedigree is ample proof. The people who have covered his work are a virtual who's who of stars. But I have to say, some of his best work and some of my favorite songs are the ones he has created as part of a group we formed with Mark Jordyn and Cindy Church called Lunch at Allen's. Ian and I have been on the road together with the Lunchables, as we call ourselves, for 25 years. We've laughed till we ached, cried sometimes, and comforted each other when life took a turn. We've made some great music together, and I have marveled at his incredible talent. He's passionate about his art. He's bottomless in his love. And God damn it, he's curious about everything. I'm beyond fortunate to have him as a friend. I can think of no one more deserving than Ian Thomas to be honored by being inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. Ian, come on up here and get your honor.
Was this mic set up for Hervé Villachez? I am so delighted to be included in this celebration of song with such a varied group of Canadian songwriters. The variety is something I miss a lot. When I grew up, AM radio played everything from Dave Brubeck to the Stones to Johnny Cash. It was completely inspiring. I didn't study the classics as hard as I should, as Gino suggested, but I sure as hell listened to a lot of radio. And I thank my wife for turning me on to choral music, where some of the greatest writing ever is going on these days. Anyway, the last month has been wall-to-wall interviews, and I've been called legendary and the legend, and I've seen it in print, and it all feels a little Viking to me. So at least for tonight, I would like to be known as Agnar the Wonderful. And when the day comes, I hope the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame will put me in a longboat, set fire to me, and shove me out into Lake Ontario. I have loved where song composition takes me. I think it's a basic extension of human sentience. We stamped into our DNA is a desire to express ourselves. The creative. My brother thinks creativity is as much an affliction as it is a talent. And I think there's some truth to that. God knows I've been off in my head often enough when I should have been focusing more on my family. Sorry, guys. It's what a journey this has been. I wrote my first song at 15, and I was lost in it. I looked up, and 3 or 4 hours had passed. Where I had been was this abyss of possibility. And the song wasn't so hot, but the experience of writing it was. I've been writing songs now for 60 years. I met this girl in grade 5. I was in university at the time. Okay, that was a cheap Woody Allen joke, sorry. At 16, I fell in love with this girl. And I have to say, what love has, this love from this girl, is a sense of well-being. And from that sense of well-being comes the notion I could do anything. And so I kept at songwriting. And it just kept opening doors for me. And I've been amazed with what I don't understand about it. Schopenhauer said that music is the most effective of all the art forms because it can enter the soul without permission. What's that shit about? That's powerful stuff. And then, of course, a groupie of Schopenhauer's, Nietzsche, he said that music allows us to get past our personhood and feel connected to something much greater than ourselves. Well, that's kind of a humbling theme right there. So these questions, what these statements do, I think is underline what probably every songwriter in this room feels when you write. And then there's that blast of inspiration that comes in. That, of course, has been, it's been called, hang on, I'll try and remember it. I'll come back to that. An unmerited grace. And it can land on anybody. And it's amazing when it does happen. I know many songwriters, actually, a bunch of us were at Tom Cochran's house one night for dinner. Mark, Murray, Amy, just a wonderful group. Wee Alan Fru from Glass Tiger. And just everybody owned up to have had a few of those songs where you don't feel as much the stuff of creator as you do conduit. This is powerful stuff. My dad, at the time of his passing, said, I started out with unquestionable answers and ended up with unanswerable questions. I would say much of my trying to understand the creative is rife with unanswerable questions. It has, however, brought me to a serious place of gratitude. So let's start off the gratitude line. I signed my first recording contract with a gentleman by the name of Ross Reynolds. Ross stood behind me for 6 albums, virtually unheard of now. And he and his lovely wife, Jane, have become part of our extended family. It was just an incredible leg up. I also owe a lot to the late Peggy Ciccone. I miss her volume and expletives here tonight. Peggy, she worked her butt off doing sub-publishing deals to get me my songs into other people's hands. And I also have to thank Frank Davies. He got me my first cover at GRT. And it was in German. It was called Warum immer ich, after one of my songs. I hadn't quite expressed it that way. And I also thank Frank for a couple of years down the road, getting me another couple of covers that helped put my kids through university. So God bless you, Frank. Thank you. And last but not least, I have to thank this lovely Scotsman behind me, Murray, who sort of dragged me out of the studio. He said it was time for us to tread the boards. And he didn't want to put a song circle together where you sat and sort of picked your nose waiting for your turn. No, he wanted everybody to be backup. We wanted to be backup singers and backup players for each other. And so for 25 years, I have enjoyed this wonderful friendship with Murray, Mark, and the sweet Cindy Church. It's been a gift to me that I'm grateful for. And last but not least, I have to thank my family. First of all, Catherine, the source of all of my love songs, and that well-being, as I said, that told me I could do anything I wanted. I have to thank my kids, Carrie and Jake. They amaze us. They too are now making their living out of their creativity. Nobody said it was easy, but the pair of them are brilliant. And then, this is the killer. I got 4 grandkids now, and they're the smartest of the lot. And Catherine and I, we just stare at them. It's unbelievable. I want to thank them for giving us the privilege of looking forward 2 generations into a future that I feel is completely safe in their hands. So thank you, everybody. Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.